History and importance of Sweden. Sweden, a beautiful Nordic country in Northern Europe, known for its stunning landscapes, thousands of islands, peaceful cities, innovative technology, and a high quality of life. But Sweden is much more than its modern image. It has a fascinating history shaped by Vikings, powerful kings, wars, trade, industrial development, scientific discoveries, and a remarkable transformation into one of the world's most prosperous and influential nations. In this video, let us take a journey through the history and importance of Sweden. Ancient Sweden and the Viking Age. The history of Sweden goes back thousands of years. After the last ice age, people gradually settled in the Scandinavian region. Communities developed through hunting, fishing, farming, and trade. Between approximately the 8th and 11th centuries, Sweden became an important part of the Viking Age. Swedish Vikings, often known as the Varangians, were particularly active in Eastern Europe. They traveled along rivers connecting Scandinavia with the Baltic region, the Byzantine Empire, and the Arab world. They traded goods such as furs, iron, weapons, and slaves, and established connections with distant civilizations. Archaeological discoveries, including Viking settlements, runestones, weapons, jewelry, and ships, provide evidence of this fascinating period. The formation of the Swedish Kingdom. Over time, various territories and communities of Sweden became increasingly united under a central monarchy. Christianity gradually spread across Sweden during the Middle Ages. The establishment of churches and Christian institutions transformed Swedish society, culture, education, and political life. Stockholm, founded in the 13th century, gradually became an important center of trade and government. Sweden also became involved in the political affairs of Scandinavia and Northern Europe. In 1397, Sweden became part of the Kalmar Union, which united Denmark, Norway, and Sweden under a single monarch. However, political disagreements and struggles for power continued between Sweden and Denmark. Swedish nobles and political leaders increasingly demanded greater independence. Eventually, the conflict resulted in Sweden leaving the Union. Gustav Vasa and independent Sweden. One of the most important figures in Swedish history is Gustav Vasa. In the early 16th century, Gustav Vasa led a rebellion against Danish rule. In 1523, he became King of Sweden. His reign marked the beginning of modern independent Sweden. Gustav Vasa also introduced major political and religious changes. Sweden adopted the Protestant Reformation, and the power of the Catholic Church was greatly reduced. The monarchy became stronger, and the Swedish state gradually developed more centralized administration. During the 17th century, Sweden became one of Europe's major military powers. This period is sometimes called the Swedish Empire. Sweden expanded its influence around the Baltic Sea and became involved in several European wars. One of the most famous Swedish kings was Gustavus Adolphus, who ruled during the early 17th century. He was an important military leader and played a major role in the 30 Years' War in Europe. However, Sweden's period as a great military power did not last forever. In the 18th century, Sweden suffered major defeats, particularly against Russia. The Great Northern War, fought between 1700 and 1721, ended Sweden's position as the dominant power in the Baltic region. In 1814, Sweden entered into a union with Norway. Although the two countries shared the same monarch, Norway retained considerable independence. The union continued for almost a century. In 1905, Sweden and Norway peacefully ended their union. Since then, Sweden has remained an independent country with its own political system and national identity. During the 19th century, Sweden began a remarkable economic transformation. Agriculture gradually became more productive, while industries based on iron, steel, timber, engineering, and manufacturing expanded. Railways connected different parts of the country. Swedish companies began selling products around the world. This industrial development helped transform Sweden from a relatively poor agricultural country into a modern industrial economy. During this period, many Swedish people also emigrated, particularly to the United States. Sweden followed a different path from many European countries during the 20th century. It remained officially neutral during the First World War and the Second World War, although its position during the Second World War remains a subject of historical discussion. After the Second World War, Sweden experienced rapid economic growth. A strong welfare system developed, providing extensive public services including healthcare, education, social security, and support for families. Sweden became associated with the idea of combining a market economy with extensive social welfare. This model has influenced political and economic discussions around the world. One of Sweden's greatest contributions to the modern world is innovation. Despite having a relatively small population, Sweden has produced many internationally recognized companies, technologies, and inventions. Swedish innovations and companies have influenced areas such as telecommunications, engineering, automobiles, pharmaceuticals, digital technology, music, and design. The country has also developed a strong culture of research, education, entrepreneurship, and technological innovation. Stockholm, in particular, has become an important European center for technology startups. Sweden has also made major contributions to science. Perhaps the most famous Swedish scientist is Alfred Nobel. Born in Stockholm in 1833, Nobel was an inventor, engineer, and entrepreneur. He is best known for establishing the Nobel Prizes, which recognize outstanding achievements in physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace, with the Economic Sciences Prize added later. Every year, the Nobel Prizes attract worldwide attention and celebrate people whose work has made significant contributions to humanity. This has given Sweden a unique place in the international scientific and cultural community. Sweden's cultural influence is also remarkable. Swedish literature, music, cinema, architecture, design, fashion, and food have gained international recognition. Swedish design is often associated with simplicity, functionality, practicality, and elegance. Swedish music has had a particularly strong global influence, from pop music to electronic music and contemporary artists. The country is also famous for traditions such as midsummer, when people gather to celebrate the longest days of the year. Sweden's natural beauty. Sweden is one of Europe's most geographically diverse countries. From the forests and lakes of central Sweden to the mountains of the north, the country offers extraordinary natural beauty. Sweden has thousands of lakes and numerous islands. In the far north lies Lapland, where visitors can experience Arctic landscapes, reindeer, and, during the appropriate season, the spectacular northern lights. Sweden's long coastline and extensive forests are also important parts of its natural heritage. Modern Sweden is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. Stockholm is the capital and largest city. Sweden is known internationally for its high standard of living, strong institutions, education, innovation, environmental policies, and social welfare system. The country has also become increasingly important in European and global security discussions. In 2024, Sweden became a member of NATO, ending a long period of military non-alignment. This represented a significant change in Sweden's foreign and security policy. Sweden is important to the world. There are many reasons. First, Sweden has played a major role in the history of Northern Europe. Second, Swedish inventions and industries have contributed significantly to global economic and technological development. Third, Sweden has demonstrated how education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship can support economic growth. Fourth, its welfare policies have influenced international debates about healthcare, education, social security, and quality of life. Fifth, Sweden has made important contributions to science and culture through institutions such as the Nobel Prize. And finally, Sweden's commitment to sustainability, environmental protection, innovation, and international cooperation gives it an important role in today's world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through Sweden's history, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more travel, history, culture, and educational videos.